Hello, BookTube. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. I'm back today with episode 2 of my end of summer book haul series. And in this video, I would like to show you some vintage romances. Now, I decided since I had a cat in the first episode 1 of this series, I may as well reintroduce you to a cat in each video since we have 5 now after you met little Scooter, which I'm still calling him. Katie's not settled on that yet, but anyway, this is Cotton. She is one of our elderlies. She is 14 years old, and she's had a lot of doctor visits lately because she's had some ear issues, and the doctor thinks it could possibly, she hasn't ruled it out, there may be some kind of cancer involved. We're not sure, but we're still right now testing some other easier things to test, like food allergies and things like that. But anyway, she is still doing pretty good. And her and her brother, her litter mate, are our 2 elderly cats. We've had them since 2007, and Katie was only 3 when we got them, so she doesn't really remember much of a time that we didn't have these cats. Boots is the other one. You've met him in more videos. He tends to be hanging out on the swing whenever I am out there filming, but Cotton is not allowed to go outside at all right now while we're doing her food trial. Anyway, she happened to be in the area, and I thought I would let her come in the video. So I said this is going to be a series. I probably don't have quite enough cats for all the videos in this series, but I think I'm going to try to do a video every day this week. At the end of the week, it's going to be time to do my end of the month wrap up, but let's let the end of the month take care of itself. For today, let's show you the vintage romances. Now, in case you're wondering, I did make a really fast trip. My girls and I both went to, we flew to Texas, then rented a car, drove into southeast Oklahoma for a funeral this past week. My brother's wife passed away. She had a very debilitating disease, and now we know that she is out of pain. She was a woman of faith and Christian, and we know that she is doing much, much better now. So under the circumstances, we were able to have a very nice celebration of life. We got to see a lot of relatives, both on my family, mine and my brother's family, as well as people in her family, a lot of whom I had met before. So it was overall a good trip under the circumstances, and we're happy that we made it safely there and safely back, but we are pretty exhausted. Katie did have to go to work today, and she had a color guard event yesterday afternoon. I did make it to church yesterday. I let Emily sleep in all day because it's a lot for her. She did great though through it all. And she's still asleep this morning. Randy had a dentist appointment. Katie went to work, and I thought, ooh, I am going to run in here right now, film a video before I get started doing any eBay listings or anything like that. So I have, well, the majority of this haul is going to be a collection of Harlequins that I purchased all at an estate sale. And they caught my eye because they were already in this rainbow order. But I am going to pause it in a second, and I'm going to put them in what I think is the correct publication order of those. Those were all published in the 80s. And, the one on top was not one of those. It fit right in with the colors, but this one is not. So let me show you these first. Actually, I've got one here that's a romance that is not vintage, so let me just go ahead and get it out of the way. I didn't have another haul to put it with. All of my other romances are Christian-based. This one, while relatively clean, as Ray Anthane is prone to be, is not Christian-based, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw this one in here. This is River Bend Road. This is part of the No, I have another one from this series called Evergreen something. This is from the Haven Point series, which I have not started. There's another series by her that I am about half done with that has the first title is Blackberry Summer or something like that. Maybe you know the one I'm talking about. Can't remember the name of the series. This is not part of that series. I think this was in our little free library. We were pulling out everything and then replacing it with new titles, and it had been sitting in there a little while. So I just decided to go ahead and bring it home. Eventually, I will probably see if they want this at the used bookstore. I will plan on reading this series, and then it's not one that I'm going to keep forever or anything. Then the other two that are not part of the Harlequin haul, although one of them is a Harlequin, but it's not part of that series. Well, actually, it kind of is. Anyway, it's by Betty Neals, Discovering Daisy. This was published in 1999, and I thought it was a little older than that, but according to what I just read, she passed away in 2001. So this is probably one of her last novels that she wrote. I'm pretty sure she probably wrote quite a lot. I've heard Steve Donahue talk about Betty Neals before. And this one, interestingly, it says a brand new romance for springtime. I have a hard time finding any books that say they're set in spring. So now I know if I ever have a prompt to read a book set in springtime, then I will go to that one. And then this one also was in the Little Free Library, and I decided to grab it because various people have asked me if I've ever read Barbara Cartland or Emily Loring, because they are kind of from the same generation as Grace Livingston Hill, and I have not. So I decided to grab this one. This is A Touch of Love. I believe this one was published in 1976 or 7. Let's see. August of 1977. This is published by Bantam. Bantam also did Grace Livingston Hill books as well. So I have quite a few Bantam editions of Grace Livingston Hill books. This is book number 68 in the Barbara Cartland Library. I read somewhere that she wrote over 100 or around 134 novels, and yeah, I haven't read any of them. So this I didn't think was Christian based, but I flipped through it a little bit, and I did sort of catch those undertones. Really, not even undertones. They were definitely speaking about God and faith in God. So I'm surprised. I did not think that those were Christian based novels. All right, I'm going to pause this for a second. It'll be a second for you, and put these in numerical order. At least I think I should have messaged Sarah, the Bookish Knitter, and asked her exactly how these are supposed to go, because some of these were originally published by is it Mills and Boone, and all of them have a number at the very top. They either say 688, 788, or 888, which makes me think they were published in, June, July, and August of 1988. But then each one of them has, so if you can see here, there's the numbers that say 688, 788, and one of them doesn't have that number at all. And then they also have these other numbers, but those numbers don't correspond chronologically with the numbers up top. And two of them are numbered 15 and 16, and then the others all start with 29, and they're 4-digit numbers. So I'm not really sure. Maybe some of you guys know how that works. But let me pause this for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got these 12 books at an estate sale here in my town where I live. I don't see a lot of estate sales around here, which is kind of surprising. Generally, if I find an estate sale while I'm out and about, it's over in another town in our county. But anyway, it was just a couple of blocks for me. I noticed all the cars and the signs, and I thought, oh, I wonder what's going on there. And it was an estate sale. So they didn't have a lot of books on the shelf, but they did have these, and I think they had them priced individually, but I offered $8 for them, and I think by this point, I don't know if it was the first day of the sale or the second, but she went ahead and accepted my offer of $8. I guess they were probably listed at $1 each, and that would have been 12. But anyway, the numbers on them, these two are numbered 15 and 16, but yet they are not really much older than the rest of them. So I'm not really sure if they changed their numbering system at that point or what, because both of these say 688. And then the next one does not have a date number, and it is numbered 2878. And then all of the rest are 29s. We have 29, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So these are all together. Then it skips 19 and 20 and goes to 29, 21, 22, 23, and 24. There's those. And then 29, 26. So it skips 29, 25. And I guess whoever originally bought them could probably, they probably received a selection and then decided which ones they wanted to keep, or maybe saw the list and ordered the ones that they wanted. So I'm not sure. But let's go through these one at a time and see what they are. I don't know at this point if I'm going to try to read all of these or maybe resell them. If I did, I would probably sell them all as a set. So anyway, this first one, though, interestingly enough, is by Lynn Graham, who I just read. The last Harlequin I read for the Harlequin category challenge that was hosted by Sarah and Bree was by Lynn Graham. It was called Virgin on Her Wedding Night, and I searched around online and found an actual copy of the book and got it. So this is one of her older ones, Bittersweet Passion. These have beautiful covers, and I love the colors, the color scheme. None of them even have the spine broken, so I'm going to be very careful opening these. This one was, it says the original hardcover edition was published in 1987 by Mills and Boon. And then Harlequin published this in 1988. So, so the 688 is correct on that. This next one is A Flaunting Cactus by Win May. It's more of a purple color scheme. And again, published originally by Mills and Boon in 1986, and then June 88 is when this was published by Harlequin. If you've read any of these or know anything about them, let me know. An Engagement is Announced by Claudia Jameson. This is the one that's numbered 2878, and these so far have all been English authors. Originally published Mills and Boon, 1987, and this was the Harlequin Romance first edition, published in December of 87, and then this is the second printing of November. Now that doesn't make any sense. If the first edition is December 87, how can the second printing be November 87? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, here it is. If you want to see the backs of these, there's even some white space, but yeah, so not super long explanations, so that's good. Not a lot of spoilers. Okay, so then the next four are all in numerical order. 2915, Capture a Nightingale by Sue Peters. And again, an English author, originally published by Mills and Boon, June 1988. Unfriendly Alliance, Jessica Steele. Mills and Boon, 1987, and Harlequin, 1988. The Healing Effect by Deborah Davis. Same thing, 87, hardcover Mills and Boon, and July of 88. And yes, this says 788. So I guess these the top numbers are correct for, they correspond with the year. These originally, I was going to say, the original prices of these were all $2.25 retail. $2.25. An Unlikely Combination by Anne Marie Duquette. So I'm going to guess it's the same. July of 88. Oh, no, this is not an original Mills and Boon. This one is an original Harlequin, first edition, July of 1988. So this one, let's see what it says about the author. So yes, this author is from the U.S. So this one did not originate in England or in the UK. All right, Fortune's Fool by Angela Wells. It's got a horse on it. Angela Wells is from London, or a suburb of London. This one is a Mills and Boon original from 1987, Harlequin edition, 1988. This one does feel like it's been read, at least. The spine's not cracked here, but you can kind of tell that it's been opened, at least. So, I mean, I'm glad to know that someone did, whoever bought them, at least read some of them. Bid for Independence by Yvonne Whittle. And this one is Says Yvonne Whittle was born a dreamer, started scribbling stories at an early age. Doesn't say where she is from, but it is originally from Mills and Boon, 1987, and published by Harlequin in 1988. 3 more. There Must Be Love by Samantha Day. That's a cute cover. It's wintertime. Says Samantha Day used to work. She's a Canadian author, used to work in a school library. Nice. So this is first edition Harlequin, August of 1988. All right. Man of Iron by Catherine George. I think I've heard of her. Maybe. Maybe not. Born in Wales. Okay. Originally published in Mills and Boon, 1987. Harlequin first edition is 1968. Last one, Tarek's Mountain. This is number 2926 by Dana James. I've heard that pronounced both ways. And she was born in a Cornish village. I'm not reading the whole thing, but just a little bit. Original Harlequin, original hardcover, Mills and Boon, 1988, published by Harlequin in August of 1988. So this was published, both Mills and Boon and Harlequin in 1988. All right, so that is it. So now they're not quite as rainbowy when I put them in chronological order, but still a very striking, and the colors and everything on the shelf. Those were the 12 that were Harlequin, and actually the Betty Neals is also a Harlequin, but it is from 1999. And the Barbara Cartland is a Bantam book from 1977. And then the Ray and Thane is from 2016. Again, not vintage, but I wanted to go ahead and throw it in because it's a romance and it's not faith-based. I will have a whole haul of Christian fiction, a lot of which is Christian romance. That will be coming soon, maybe tomorrow. And then I have a whole box of Amish fiction that I've bought over the summer. Just a little at a time as I find it, I buy it. The one you've all been waiting for is the Cozy Mystery, the Cozy Mystery haul. I'll throw that in there somewhere before the end of the month for sure. I also have a middle grade haul, so that one might have to wait till the 1st. I'm not sure exactly what order I'll do these in, or maybe I'll just try to get them all done and do two, a couple of days I'll do 2 and just try to get them done before the end of the month. I don't know why it matters. It doesn't really. It's all the same either way. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back for the next few installments of my end of summer book haul series. And that is all for today. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you. Oh, before I go, I want to do a couple of shout outs in case you are interested in more vintage romance paperback content or hauls. A few months ago, Storm from Storm Reads did a book haul where she showed some vintage paperbacks, romance. They were gothic romances and things like that. And she found them at her local Restore. Of course, Restore is run by Habitat for Humanity. I always thought it was just a store where you could buy leftover building materials. I did not realize that it has evolved into more of a thrift store. So after seeing her video, I had to go and check out our local Restore, and sure enough, they had books. Who knew? I didn't know. But anyway, I want to go back and find that video that Storm did a few months ago, and I will link it in the description below. And of course, if you want more content related to Harlequins and category romances, you definitely need to check out Sarah, the Bookish Knitter. She is a Harlequin collector, and I'm going to guess if you're watching me, you have probably already subscribed to Sarah, but I remember a couple of hauls over the last year where she has bought like 200 or more Harlequins in one box, and it's just pretty amazing. She is, like I said, a collector, so she's got a lot of vintage paperbacks, a lot of vintage romances in her collection, and she is the go-to person for romance content. Of course, there are so many others, and I can't name everybody, but it's pretty cool that there are so many different romance booktubers out there, and there's such a wide range of romance content from the very light, which I prefer, to the very dark. And, you know, there's something for everyone. And, anyway, I'm hoping that none of these are very dark, but we shall see. If you know anything about any of the books that I showed in this book haul, please let me know. And let me sign off again and say goodbye, because I've got to go do some eBay listings. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.